This is the head of none other than Vladimir Lenin, although that's probably not his real name. I believe he had over 100 different pseudonyms over his lifetime, of course, because he was the creator and the first leader of the Bolshevik Party and therefore of the Soviet Union back in the early 20th century. And this is Ploshka Lenina Metro, so Lenin Square metro station in Minsk, Belarus, and you see his stuff everywhere. You see his streets, his statues, his squares. Of course, what you don't see is Stalin's equivalent. But Lenin, you see everywhere, man. The main streets of most Belarusian towns is Lenin Street, and you're here today. We'll be walking along Lenin Street as well. But as I say, you don't see anything related to Stalin or any other leaders. Lenin is kind of your man. So kind of interesting. So I'll walk us up here. This is the northern exit of Ploshka Lenina metro station in Minsk, Belarus. And I'll walk you up to Prospect Nezavisimosti, which is Independence Avenue, which is of course the main drag, if you will, in Minsk, Belarus. And it's gone under many names over the years, but it's currently Independence Avenue. And it's a big, wide avenue made to transport lots of people. And, you know, a bit of a, you know, back in the Soviet days, a bit of a, you know, how do you say it nicely without saying, yeah, a bit of like a showing who's got the biggest one. You know what I mean? This kind of basic Soviet versus USA kind of thing. So they're trying to, you know, have the biggest metros, the biggest streets and whatever it is. So I'm trying to get past this girl. What was I saying? Something or other. Oh yeah. So you know, these things were a bit, you know, civilization versus civilization. That's what it is. It's kind of like swinging your dick around, civilization versus civilization. It's kind of what it was. So this is Nezavisimosti here, as we come out, and underneath us is a major shopping centre here as well. I think it's Stolitsa, is it called? It's a pretty Soviet in vibe. I think it's owned by the government. It kind of struggles a bit to compete with the bigger, more Western style shopping centres like Dana Mall and Galleria and Galileo and so forth. But it's still here. So let's just see where the sun is. I think the sun's on that side, so I think we'll cross. Let's go under here. I'll just give you guys a bit of a feel of what's around. So that's Lenin Square proper there. This church is, well, it's shut down. It was getting a bit political. It had been kind of infiltrated by political types, and the government got wind of it and they shut it down. But in the meantime, this whole area on the other side here is Lenin Square proper. So what I'll do is I'll drop under here and we'll go on that side and walk on that side of Nezavisimosti, because, as I say, there'll be less sun on that side, but it's pretty cloudy. If you ever live in Minsk or stay in Minsk, the metro system's great. I think anywhere on the blue line is pretty good, and what you will get is a lot of stairs, a lot of stepping, and you know, it's pretty hard to get fat when you're just eating normal portion meals like are served here in Belarus, and you're going up and down these stairs every day, a bit of a stroll around. It's pretty hard to not be in decent shape, even during the winter. So this is the major shopping centre here. I'll just stick my head in and show you guys. I'd say it's, you know, probably circa early 2000s, at a guess, yeah, give or take a couple of years. Looks like there's something going on in there, so let's kind of wander in. Let's see, there's Stolitsa. So it's a shopping centre. A little bit of a detour, quick detour for you guys. See what's going on in here. I believe there is a significant holiday in 2 days' time. It's June 1, and I do intend to upload this tomorrow, June 2. The little fellas there with their yellow belts, red belts, like that. who used to play this song before he went out to play major matches in tennis. Old Leighton. Alright, let's go back on to Nezavizi Mosti. Oh wow, this is a privately owned scooter. You usually see the rentals around. This one's privately owned and nailed to the wall. Oh, let's get up here. Although in saying that, I mean, I do, obviously I live here and I'm here now, so I'm not going to say anything too radical against too much in the country, but you know, it's bloody safe. You could probably leave that scooter there. Just leave it there, yeah? Without the wiring on it, and it'd probably not get stolen. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, leave that thing in the city centre of Melbourne, it's fucking gone in 2 minutes. And Australia's not particularly dangerous. This is Lenin Square, everyone enjoying the memory of the great Bolshevik leader. It's very Soviet, isn't it? Open areas, lots of places to sit, fountains. They fucking love fountains. They love the fountains. Probably a few tourists. This looks like a few ladies finding that very funny. That looks like I reckon that'd be a Russian. Can't quite see, it's a bit dark on the screen. Somewhere there you can see that group, tourist group, probably from Russia. I'd guess. These guys are definitely Russian tourists on the right. I won't put the camera on them, it's too obvious. And all these little things here, these provide light for the shopping centre underneath. Got the skater boys here. I'll see you later, boy. Skater boy isn't good enough for her. Alright, so this is Nezavizi Mosti here. Let me just go, I'll just go where the bus station is here. And just give you guys a decent kind of view straight up the guts there of Nezavizi Mosti. So Ne is not, and Nezavizi Mosti is dependent on, so this is Independence, it's not dependent. So Independence Avenue, and you can see there a lazy 4 lanes both ways, man. 8 in total. So what's going on? So this is pointed north. If you don't know, northwards, it's about a kilometre up till Ulica Lenina, which is Lenin Street. But this is Independence Avenue. As we see, all the people waiting for the bus there. We've been very impressed. Alright, let's go for a wander. Straight up the guts, and we'll chuck a lefty at, or should I say, Nasleva, at Ulica Lenina. Is a marshrutka. These are very common in this part of the world. Kind of mini buses, the cart people around. Could be a local one. This big boy. Wow. The old marshrutkas. There's plenty getting you around in Minsk, there's plenty getting you around in different places, so I can't see the screen too well on my phone. It's tinted for some reason. So I'm not sure exactly what you're seeing, but I'll try and keep it as straight as possible. Down here would be Mark Street. Could you imagine? You actually get to a point where it's corner of Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin Street. Could you imagine? Street. So that one there, where's my finger? There. Turning left, that's Mark Street. And it's one block up, you're getting all the fancy Café de Paris and all this kind of stuff. Kind of thotty places, tourist and thotty places. Lots of transactional behaviour related to these kinds of places. Mark Street there. Quite a famous hotel here. Indeed. Hotel Minsk. So my buddy Nikolai, if you're watching, mate, from США, сейчас в Руси, I remember him telling me that he stayed here. First time he came to Minsk, he stayed here. And it was during 2020, it was getting a little bit complicated at that point. It's a nice fresh air, there's no hint of pollution. Look on the streets, I mean you can see, right? Like I actually saw an empty coffee cup the other day on the metro, and I freaked out, man. Like, how did that happen? Rubbish. Because it's not just that it's cleaned up a lot, it's that people just don't throw their rubbish on the ground. You know what I mean? So it's not just that there's 20 million government servants cleaning. Belarus has an interesting code of conduct when it comes to behaviour. And some of the surface level behaviours are extremely positive. And one is, don't bloody throw your shit everywhere. Look how clean it is. No syringes, no broken bottles. Friggin' nothing, man. Just clean. Safe, clean. People don't spit. People don't spit. People do not. I've never seen anyone spit in Minsk. In Minsk. In some villages, I've seen excessive spit. But these little things give that little bit of a clue in, right? In terms of that very strict Soviet etiquette. And I noticed the other day, I've been getting a bit of allergies. There's a lot of pollen floating through the sky. You can even see it now, big chunks of it. Holy shit, it's like cotton floating through the sky. I'm getting a bit of an allergy last couple of days. So I was just blowing my nose in the library. And I realised, you know what? I've never seen anyone blow their bloody nose here. And it's kind of seen as a little bit poor taste. It's kind of interesting. All right, green man, let's go for it. Mum and son here don't want to cross. This dude's ridden his push bike in from the village, getting his spuds, take them home. So a bit quiet down this end. There's not a lot down here. Another block or so, things get a bit more interesting. Have some more restaurants, cafes, shops. Of course, GUM is up here. There's two big Soviet shops on Nezavizi. On the left up here is GUM, and then Zoom is another couple of kilometres up on the right near Kubikolossi Metro, kind of near the Kamerovka Market, there, or Silhouette shopping centres. Like that, you got the colour coordinated flowers and the pot, the Belarusian flag colours. I'm going to guess and say it's probably deliberate. Let's go back on the right side here because I love footpath etiquette. Sidewalk etiquette is walk on the right side. Everyone walks on the right, everything goes smoothly. No need for violence or anger. I'm a great believer in this. Now, the reality is, with these kind of European style apartments, because this was built in, most of what you're seeing now was built in that first few years after World War II. So it's very classic kind of styling, as you can see. There's no kind of, glass and steel kind of feeling that you'll get in 2024. But it's a bit hard sometimes to even know what's what, you know what I mean? Like, in a lot of Western countries, or Anglosphere countries specifically, you tend to have buildings built specifically for shops. So you have like a service station, gas station, and you know what it is because it looks that way. Whereas with European setup, it's a bit harder to know. You just kind of got to know your way around because it's just a tenant going into the building rather than the building being built for the tenant, which can happen in Anglosphere kind of situations. So for that reason, it can sometimes be a bit tricky to even know because you only ever got like a small sign there. You don't get a lot of the other obvious signals of what the shop might be. So they have these, look over there, it says Apteka. It's a bit confusing in the red there. It's a little bit confusing because when you write, when you don't print, when you use cursive, the T turns into an M. So it actually says Apteka. You can see it says 0 to 24. So it's open 24 hours, but the girl working there just sleeps, right, in the night time. So if it's like 2 a.m. and you need something, you just go in there, you ding the little bell. She's having a sput on the floor and she'll just get up and give you what you want. So you have this kind of 24-hour thing, but it's not open 24 hours as such. Like the girl's asleep and the lights are off and the doors are locked, but there's a little takeaway window. You can just press the little dinger button there and the girl will serve you whatever you need for your health requirements. Pretty convenient. I mean, obviously, once you live here for a while, your drawers fill up with this kind of stuff, odds and ends stuff like allergy stuff or headache stuff or something for your stomach or whatever. This is Vasilki, very famous restaurant chain here in Belarus. Pretty good. It's when you've been there, you've been there, right? Like it's heavy, oily, but pretty good, man. Like I quite like Vasilki. I don't go there too often nowadays. I've Probably run through the whole menu more than once, to be fair. It's a good menu though, extensive menu. It is worth going. If you're here, or you haven't been here, or you're coming here, I definitely put Vasilki on your hit list. It's just a, it's a chain. It's not like there's a few of them around. There's another one at Dana Mall and a few others floating around, but it's good. It's good. It's hearty. Oily, heavy, and hearty. That's what you want. So it's pretty warm today. It's, I don't know what the temp is, but it's, you can see there's lots of skin everywhere. Myself in shorts. Alright, we've got a green man here, green man situation. We're just going to keep walking. If it doesn't flash, we're just going to go for it. If it flashes, we'll stop. There you go, still going, so we will go. This guy with this interesting mustard jacket, looking pretty sharp. Just, what do you call it? Swish. Got some swagger. Some Kitaisky Ludi. So these these things, these are big everywhere, these things, man, these scooters. People haven't quite got into them as much this season. I don't know if they're out of fashion or, I don't know. I don't see as many around as I have previous warmer seasons. So fun fact, when I first arrived here in Belarus, so this is Lenin here, we're going to turn left really soon. This is like the real centre of the centre. So we've walked almost one metro stop. There's another metro stop up here, there's Mak.by, I'll show you that just in a moment. And the very first apartment I lived in is that bad boy there. Airbnb, could you imagine? When it работает is this. I had I don't know, for a week or two, I can't really remember, to be honest. Back in the good old days, late 2021, mate. Right in the heart of COVID. And that was it. So this is Goom. This is Coffix as well, just, wait a minute. Sorry, no, the next building, I've got the buildings wrong. It's the next building. So Coffix, you'll know, Coffix is like a cheap, fast kind of coffee franchise. But look, they do pretty well at creating a seasonal menu. So I quite like them. They come up with some innovative winter and summer menus, which is really fun. You're not just stuck with the same cappuccino. Because, you know, if you live in Minsk, you're going to live a pretty coffee, cafe-saturated life, right? That's kind of what you do for the most part if you're not at home. You're probably going to be in a cafe somewhere. So you get sick of seeing the same cappuccino, Americano, espresso, maybe some rough with some different flavours. So I actually lived up there, to be honest, back in the day. Oh, it's all coming back to me, baby. And here's Goom, this Soviet wonderland. Mate, the offer here hasn't changed in 50 years. You can see the customers here. They're chilling out. I wonder what's going on here. This must be a tour or something. You wouldn't get so many people who look exactly the same. I'm going to guess and say they're either from a smaller town. No, they look Russian. No, they're definitely Russian. This is Goom. There's a sign there. Goom. Goom, I reckon. Russian tourists chilling out there. Alright, so this is the intersection here of Nezavizi Mosty and Ploshka Lenina. I would say this is probably the heart of the city, I would say. Dare I make such a wild accusation. So this is Lenina here. Now the next, we have to go under here. I'll just show you Mak.by, because people kind of find it interesting. It's the old McDonald's now, Mak.by. I made a video about this ages ago. If you want to have a squeeze, see the menu, all that kind of good stuff. Let's go under here, because this is where you go if you want to buy tickets to anything in Minsk. This is the place to go. If you go under here, so there's Coffix. It's a good example. It's got fun, cool shit. You know what I mean? It's interesting to check out. It's not the most cool place, or the most sophisticated place, upmarket place, but just a functional, simple coffee shop that you can kind of grab something, a bit of takeaways, Some lavender milk mix thing, which I love. So this is where you buy all the tickets for everything down here. So all the signs for everything coming up in most of the theatres. On this side as well. Is that lady talking to? Oh, on her phone there. So then you go here, but I know where the girl's gone. She's bailed somewhere. Oh wow, it's not even open these 3 days, so it's actually shut today. But if you come from Monday to Thursday, 12 to 7, it's open, but the other 3 days, it's closed. I wonder if it's the same on this side. I never realised it was closed those 3 days. Oh man, this is really complicated. Oh yeah, same deal. Oh, then a lunch break. Alright. So you just, whatever you want basically. Got that rich, one of the positives of Soviet culture pushing all this stuff, in my mind anyway. Got lots of variants, lots of offers here going on. Alright, let's take you up for Mak.by. Keep an eye out for photo bombers, man, because these Belarusians love to get amongst a bit of photo bombing. Here's Mak.by. As I say, this intersection that we just walked under there, it's kind of the... in my mind, it's the centre of town. In my mind, it is. So Mak.by used to be McDonald's. You kind of see it was like an M. See how it's like the golden arches M, but then they like twisted it like inwards to make like a love heart. I don't know if that was the purpose of it, but there you have it. So it's a bit windy out here, but this is Lenin here. So let's take a turn into Lenin. We're going to head. This is heading west towards, and this is where the red and blue line cross under this building. So we've gone one metro stop already on the blue. Now we're going to kind of walk above the red line towards Nemiga metro, and then I've got to meet my buddy back at Galileo. So I'll jump back on the metro back the other way. I'll take you guys to Nemiga, and I'll just keep filming for us as long as the battery will last. So again, this is a real, big wide footpath. It's a statement, right? It's a statement. I'll show you behind this building. Classic Soviet statement. Let's make the inner city really good. Let's show those capitalist bastards how rich we are. So pretty typical for inside of a apartment block. Got cars everywhere. If this was more a suburban place, this would be like a kid's playground or something. Just more grass. I don't even know what this is, to be honest. Something going on there, I don't know what. So yeah, you kind of got the wide footpaths here. It's not normal, obviously, just in these kind of key streets. You had to give the people hope, mate. I mean, poor Belarus, Jesus, it's been shat on over the years. World War II was fucking savage. I mean, really, it was savage for everyone involved, but Belarus just got bloody obliterated, mate. So you had to give the people some hope, build some decent infrastructure. There's a future coming for you, Fuck, man. It's pretty grim times. Pretty grim. Again, the fetish with fountains. So yeah, the Belarusian people, they're survivors, that's for sure. Civilization has survived. Although, of course, unfortunately for Belarus, it has gone through feminism and communism. And as a result, they both have no babies and no money. So, I don't know what the future holds for Belarus. I hope things can turn around, like for many countries at the moment, just having no kids and everyone's turning on each other and getting political or whatever. Hopefully that can turn around at some stage. I'm not sure what the trigger would be for that, of course. At the moment, everybody's just in a solid downtrend, and I don't see anything coming from the messaging above to tell us to do anything else other than consume and produce. But nonetheless, this lady's got a kid there. But anyway, I'll stay away from that topic. Gets me too triggered. And of course, the beautiful thing about this time of year that I really love is that they set up all these outside parts. So these are shut down during winter. They're taken away, carted. I don't know where all the wood is stored, but somewhere. And in the summer, usually kind of late May, late April, early May, they bring it back out again, and you got 4 or 5 months of kind of sitting outside and having a glass of wine and a cup of coffee and waiting for your friends to come and meet you for lunch. Quite pleasant. Don't know if it makes the 6 months of miserable winter worthwhile, but it certainly compensates a lot of it. We're going to walk through here, so this is quite romantic. A little bit of mist coming off this arch. A little bit crowded. We'll just tail this family here. No, we won't. I'm going to go through this, but it's on the right hand side. You've got some Tatashki Diavushki. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, having a bit of lunch inside. Not bad. No horses, but pretty cool. Chilling out on the inside of those. So I put the zoom on a bit because I hate feeling too far away from things. So I put the zoom just on a little bit so you can really feel in the face of everything. What I might do though is just cross over here. Because I want to go in the shade mainly. Because it can get a bit hot. That's the thing, the heat kind of sneaks up on you. You get used to just wearing bloody jackets and pants all the time, and then all of a sudden it's 27 feeling 33 and it feels bloody hot just to walk around. It's beautiful though. Like Minsk summer's good. Like it's optimal. It's comfortable enough to wear shorts every day. You never really feel that hot. You know what I mean? I've got a buddy of mine at the moment that's in Nepal. He's kind of invited me there in a month or two's time, just to kind of maybe hang out for a few weeks. And I looked at his village or his little town, whatever he lives in, and fuck me, it's 47 today. And I'm like, dude, what are we gonna do when it's 47? Like 37's manageable. It's not comfortable, but it's manageable. You know? But 47, it's like, bro, like what are we gonna do? It's like right on the border of India, right on the northern. It's actually closer to Taj Mahal than it is to Kathmandu, interestingly enough. I'm going to try and get on the right hand side here, partly for etiquette considerations. I'm really breaking all the rules here. Shit, I'm the worst tourist ever. Alright, let's go on the right hand side here. That's a city hall there, folks. Well worth a look. Minsk City Hall. It's gone through many renovations and rebuilds and so forth over the years. Definitely check it out. They have tours there and talking through what's happened there over the generations. And that, I don't know what these things are called. Looks like a miniature Louvre model, but it's just windows down into a chamber linked to this building. And we're really kind of in the hotspot now of Belarus, Minsk. Usually it says I Heart Minsk over there. Now there's a sign over there. Kind of burned into the I'm gonna sneeze, give me a moment. Yeah, I don't know if you can see on the video, but there's literally this white, it's literally like cotton just blowing around. It's so thick, the pollen. It's just unbelievable. I'll stay still, you can maybe see there's quite a few just blowing in front of the camera there. And some of the size of like a 1 ruble coin, you know. It's just bloody, it's rough going. But I found some good drugs to go. Sorry guys, just cut out there, I'm not sure why. Hope you didn't miss too much. I am aware that my phone's actually getting pretty full at the moment. We need to go through and delete a few videos and delete a few apps maybe. A bit chockers on there, so I think my phone might have done a little bit of a self-survival thing, but I'm pretty sure there's enough gigabytes to get us through another 10 minutes or so, although I will nick off fairly soon. So if you chuck a lefty down here, this is kind of the major bridge here, where Nemiga Metro is, and then headed over towards Galleria. And then if you turn left down here, there's a lot of Italian style kind of restaurants. In fact, it's probably a lot more interesting. It's not probably a lot more interesting. I told you about the photo bombing, right? I don't know, they just love it for some reason. It's probably more interesting to go down there, you know. Let me see, there's no time on here. I can't tell what time it is. I'll be late for my friend, so I'm just going to walk this way. But if you do go down here, you can walk down there and then turn right as well. There's a lot of kind of Italian restaurants and just the usual stuff there. But yeah, if you have a severe pollen allergy, geez, you'd want to think twice about even coming, to be honest. It's not as bad as it was in Brest. Brest was incredible. I almost sneezed my head off my freaking shoulders in Brest. Look at that. I hope you can see some of these big clusters of bloody pollen floating around. Oh, yeah. So yeah, this is a very famous Orthodox church, of course. And this is like the nightclub area, kind of Zabitskaya region. It's a bit DJ and tourists. I don't really go there at all, like literally at all. But if you're kind of the, you know, some guy wrote a comment the other day asking about the club and bar scene. I'm like, mate, there isn't any. Like, there is a club and bar scene, but it's mainly just kind of prostituting, you know what I mean, or transactional kind of stuff. Like, it's not how we think of it in the West. A lot of these young people don't drink, I have to say. a lot of people I know don't drink. Young people, like 18, 20, 22 range. I think a lot of them have just seen their parents, particularly their dads, drink a lot and just make a mess. And I'm surprised how many young people I've heard say that. Now, plenty of young people drink like crazy too. And Jesus, when Belarusians drink, they fucking drink, mate. Like they drink Russian style. Like in the West, especially Australia, we drink in this kind of leisurely, paced out manner, right? So, for example, we might knock off, a dozen stubbies, a dozen beers, but we'll do it over 6 hours, right? We kind of slowly burn into it. But here they are. Jesus. I was with a couple of mates the other day, and they went from, let's say 0 to 0.3 blood alcohol concentration in less than an hour. I'm just sitting there on my second beer chilling out. These fuckers have gone a champagne, a wine, those 1.9 litre beer bottles you get here, a couple of those. They're just like sculling. Like literally the culture here in terms of drinking is just to wipe yourself out. Like it's pretty crazy. Whereas in Australia we kind of have like big sessions, Alright, so when we actually turn right, because I want to go and, as I said, meet my buddy Galileo back near where I started actually, Plosh Lenina. So this is Nemiga. You can see everyone walking down there to Galleria. Again, this is very touristy. Like, this is Tourist 101 now. We're in the tourist spot. You see lots of Turks and Arabs and a few Chinese kind of floating around. This is kind of where your typical foreigners will generally live. Well, not, when I say foreigners, like short-term stays and temporary stays and 3-month stays tend to kind of gravitate towards this region. I'll just let you observe everyone walk across. Fashion is an interesting thing in Minsk. People dressed quite warmly today, I'm surprised. It looks like it's 20 degrees by how people are dressed, but I can assure you by my sweaty brow, it is 30. There's another Coffee's over there as well. And as I say, I can see another Coffee's further up underneath the Alpha Bank there as well. It's about 8 minutes walk down to Galleria, which is a touristy feeling kind of shopping centre. Again, not tourists from the West, but from everywhere else. Belarus is open for business, just those under the Anglosphere or the American aren't here, but everyone else kind of is. So I'm aware it's a bit windy, sorry about that, guys. I'll just take you down to the metro. I'm just going to walk down here and just get on the metro myself. So while I'm here, I might as well take you with me. Otherwise, I'll just be staring at the ground walking. Yeah, a bit windy. You can get windy here sometimes. Not too bad though. I mean, Belarus is obviously very, very flat. Really flat. The place where we go skiing in the winters is like, I think it's like a hill. We call it a hill, not a mountain. It's like, I think it's 140 meters high or something like this. It's really funny. But it kind of does the job. So it's all right, actually. It gives you the basic feeling of snow activity. Sorry, I just cut out again there. All right, everybody. I'll say goodbye for now. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week.